Friday night when Liberty North knocked off Rockhurst, it was an end of an era in Kansas City high school football. Tony Severino is retiring after 37 years at Rockhurst, 50 total in coaching at high school sports in the Metro, and he's stepping away with a legacy that'll probably never be matched by anyone here, not only in the Metro, but around the Midwest. Coach Severino had a huge impact on his players, fellow coaches, fans, the Rockhurst community, and really high school football fans all across the Metro. As a member of the media, I've known him since the early 90s when I started out as a part-time writer at the Examiner in Independence in Blue Springs. And while I didn't really cover him a lot the first few years, as the part-time guy, I didn't necessarily get the Blue Springs Rockhurst beat, as that was one of the biggest ones in the city. I was around and did go to a lot of those games and saw how Coach Severino dealt with everyone around him. Then when I came back to the Examiner in 2002 as the assistant sports editor, I began to work with him more and more as we covered Rockhurst when they would play the teams in our area. And then in 2009 and now 2010, when we started Preps KC, got to work with him even more, had him on the radio show several times, covered a lot of his games, and really was lucky enough to call him a friend and a mentor as the years have gone on. I personally told him when he decided to retire, I didn't want him to because I enjoyed his time so much, and really he brought so much to the game that we have here in the Metro. As a member of the media, sometimes it's not always easy. Sometimes you don't necessarily form relationships. There's some people who tell you shouldn't form friendships with coaches. It's kind of an adversarial thing. But a lot of times the best relationships, healthy media and coach relationships, are ones where people have mutual respect and they become friends along the way. It doesn't prevent either side from doing their job, but it allows them to really do the job to the best of their ability. Coming forward here in the next few minutes, you're going to hear from a few media members here in the Metro who have dealt with and worked with Coach Severino over the last, some of them going back all 5 decades, and their thoughts on the retirement of Coach Severino. I just very pleased to say that I was able to work with him really closely these last 17 years, but really just to be able to watch and enjoy what his Rockhurst teams did from afar and even close up in the last 25, 26 years that I've been in the media here in the Metro. Going forward here, coming up, you're going to see a lot of people who are you're going to recognize, and they're all thrilled that you're able to go to retirement and excited for you, but at the same time, we're all a little sad to see you go. So Coach Severino, here are just some people who wanted to say thanks and enjoy retirement.
Hey, Coach Sev, Mick Schaefer from 41 Action News. Congratulations on 50 years of coaching high school football. Unbelievable. Half a century in this town. So many lives have been impacted by you deciding to go into high school coaching. Fans, players, coaches, you name it. Your impact on this city is immeasurable. And yet every time I got out there, it was like you're in year one. You were so accommodating. What a program you built over at Rockhurst. What a legacy you'll leave here in Kansas City. Enjoy retirement and don't get to 85 and that bowl full of spaghetti just yet, okay? Congratulations.
Hi, Coach. Tony Reisinger from the Greater Kansas City Football Coaches Association. Congratulations on a fantastic career, and we wish you nothing but the best, but keep it rolling.
Hey, Coach, it's Dave Stewart. My first memory of you was 1974, coaching baseball at Shawnee Mission West when I was a junior at South. West had the most obnoxious mustard-colored uniforms, and you looked like the great pumpkin at the top of the dugout steps. I'll never forget that, and you were only a few years out of college and still big and strong and scary looking. And then, of course, I enjoyed following you all the years at Shawnee Mission Northwest and, of course, that run at Rockhurst. But beyond all of the wins and championships, I think the thing that I remember most about you at Rockhurst was watching your sons be ball boys and then grow up and play for you as teenagers, and how significant that connection was. Out of everything else, I'll never forget you being able to coach your kids and doing such a great job and making it really a family affair, all of the guys that came through the program at Rockhurst. Enjoy retirement. Do exactly what Marilyn says, and it'll be a happy, happy life.
Hey, Coach, it's Brian Johnston with Vision Sports, Preps KC, and the Greater Kansas City Football Coaches Association. I remember starting Vision Sports back in 1997, broadcasting Blue Springs and Blue Springs South games, and I just remember the very first Blue Springs Rockhurst game. I'd never been to anything like it. The amount of people, the fanfare, the people marking seats at 3:30 in the afternoon, it was absolutely outstanding. And obviously a great rivalry. It seems like for an eternity, we played 2 games a year, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs, whether it was Blue Springs or Blue Springs South, it didn't matter. And I really got to know you and appreciated all the information you gave. You were very forthcoming. And I remember one time on the field, I asked a very dumb question for our pregame interview, and I said, "Coach, when are you going to retire?" And you looked at me and you said, "Brian, I'm only 55 years old." I thought it was pretty stupid. Anyway, I think the greatest compliment that I've heard about you was from former activities director and head football coach at Blue Springs, Tim Crone, said, "If I had a son that played football, he would play for Tony Severino." So congratulations on an outstanding career and enjoy retirement.
Coach, congratulations, man. What a great career that you had. I'll be honest with you, man. Great coach, but even a better person. Good luck in your retirement. It's been fun covering you coaching high school football. Take care, Coach.
Hey, Coach Severino, Jason Lamb here, congratulating you on an amazing career. I consider myself really lucky to have covered high school football here in Kansas City during your days at Rockhurst. Thank you so much for your availability and all the access through the years. I have a ton of respect for you, and I wish you a very happy and content retirement.
Congratulations to Coach Tony Severino on a remarkable career and a well-deserved retirement. My name is Nick McCabe, and I've been covering high school football in the Kansas City area for over 20 years on radio and television and in print. All the way back in 1999, we started the high school football game of the week on Sports Radio 810. And that fall, we covered Rockhurst in a state championship game. That was the way we ended our coverage, and it was the first of several times that would be the case. Rockhurst actually lost that game back in 1999 to Melville in the state title game, but it would usher in a tremendous run of success for the Hawklets, winning 4 state titles over the next 11 years. Also in 1999, I was 23 years old, and Coach Severino showed me the same respect and professionalism that he does now after knowing me for the last 20 years, and I think that says a lot about him. Back in the fall of 2002, Rockhurst would win a state title, and my wife got pregnant with our first child. I was doing a Rockhurst game right after we found out and told Coach Sev our happy news. He was congratulatory, of course, and then he gave me the only order I ever recall getting from him. He never made one request about how we covered his team, but he told me if our summer baby turned out to be a boy, to hold him back unequivocally, because the extra year of maturity makes a huge difference, especially in athletics. Well, that baby turned out to be a girl, and it's sometimes hard to believe she's a 16-year-old high school junior now, but I respected his opinion so much we would have absolutely followed his advice. My favorite photo of me working is this picture of me interviewing Coach Sev on TV at halftime of a Rockhurst Hutchinson game. I treasure this picture of me with an absolute KC legend, and I treasure all the time we got to spend together talking football, some of the great Rockhurst players, of course, of the last 2 decades, and about life in general sometimes. What a privilege it was. Once again, congratulations, Coach. I sincerely hope you enjoy a long, happy, and healthy retirement. All the best to you and your family.
Hey, Coach Sev, it's Brad Porter. Just wanted to say congratulations on a great run at Rockhurst High School. And more important to me than the championships and the banners and the letters and the patches is the positive influence you have had on me and thousands of young people throughout your entire career. It's been absolutely fantastic, and it's been important work. In my case in particular, I was on the freshman football team in the fall of 1987, and at 5'10 and about 125 pounds, I figured out playing football was not going to be in my long-term future. So I went to you and Coach Bubalo, and I said, what can I do to be part of the team? And I think he said something like, Brad, we got this thing over in the corner called, it's called a camcorder. It uses VHS tapes. I don't know what it does. I can't figure it out. But if you want to videotape the football games, take care of the equipment, keep everything in order, be part of the team. I was more than happy to do it. I just wanted to be there. I wanted to be hanging out up in the press box, videotaping games, and maybe get a career in journalism. And it has paid off. I've worked in sports media in this town for 30 years, and it all goes back to Rockhurst High School. And I remember one trip in particular. We were on the way, I don't remember, it was Grandview or Hickman Mills, and I was in charge of the game footballs for that game. Big bag of game footballs. And all of a sudden the buses pull off to the side of the road, and you came running out of the front bus to the back bus and busting through the door and said, "Brad, where's the game footballs? Somebody said you forgot the game footballs. We got to go back if you don't have the game footballs." I said, "Coach, I got it. That's all right here. It's okay." What's important about that is you held me as accountable as you did to every player and every coach on your staff. And it made me feel like I was part of the team. It made me feel like I was responsible for something, like I mattered and I was important. And that was a big deal. So Coach Sev, for all the great influence you've had on me, my family, my friends, and thousands of young people throughout your career, and you will continue to have an influence on, I cannot thank you enough. And I hope to see you in the stands on a Friday night, enjoying some popcorn with your grandkids and hopefully someday great-grandkids. That'll be great. So, Coach Sev, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Rock State.
Well, you've known Coach Severino for a long time, Coach. And now the last 10 years really has been as part of the media, and more so than as a fellow coach. As a member of the media from the other side of it, what's it like to say goodbye to having him as someone to deal with and work with?
Well, he's been a friend of mine for 49 years. I have a great respect for him, and you always knew what you were going to get with Coach Severino, and he's always up straightforward with you and gives you good answers and has good things, and they just do things the right way at Rockhurst. He's just done a great job there. He's going to be missed in our profession, and he's given 50 years to being a high school football coach, which is something he should be very proud of.